Hey guys, it's Carrie Marie here, and I just want to give you a quick Ascension energy update as far as I'm feeling it and discerning it. So, internally, this eclipse that's coming on August 21st, so I guess that's next Monday, is huge. And I think that when people have heard that there's an alignment coming that's huge, they, and then they think that nothing has happened, nothing has changed in the outer world, and so they start to think that that it's irrelevant when they're hearing that this next thing is huge, right? But so I want to bring some clarity to that. So the way that Ascension works is it's a raising of the frequency, okay? Because everything is energy, everything. So take away the way that things look physically, and you'll see that everything is really energy at the fundamental level, and then it takes a form or a physicality, okay? So the thing that makes a dimension have certain properties is frequency, okay? It depends on what frequency the reality is on to determine what reality that dimension experiences, okay? This is not hard to understand. I promise you it's not hard to understand. So many people write me and ask me to explain things that I'm explaining in my videos. So rewind it if you have to, but just listen to it slowly, because truth should not be difficult. If something is true, it should be easy enough for a child to understand it. So we've been in the third dimension on Earth for eons of time, okay? And the third dimension is able to exist at a certain frequency level. And that frequency level is determined by, my dog is trying to get in. Come on, Shelby, it's okay. Come on, you can come in. I'm right in front of their doggy door. Okay, you want to just hang there? So the collective consciousness is the collective consciousness is the sum total consciousness of the beings in on a certain planet or in a certain reality. So on Earth, the sum of the frequency of all humans is what determines our reality that we experience. That's the collective consciousness that I'm talking about, okay? So, and I've said this before, but there have been there have been powers on this planet that have kept Earth in a lower dimension for eons and eons of time on purpose, for control, okay? For making the humans work for them, okay? So that they control the resources, they control the money, they control everything. And humans are expendable to them. They're just a food source, okay? And who are these beings? So people are like, who are these beings? And I don't want to talk too much about them because really they're currently, they have no energetic power. So I first want to tell you that. Don't get into fear listening to this, because these beings have already been booted, okay, to the sidelines. It's like a snake that's already had its head chopped off. It has no chance of living. It might still be thrashing around a little because they still move after that, but essentially the snake is dead. So that is what's happening with the powers that were on this planet, okay? Their head has already been chopped off. Their life source, their power. That's already been taken from them. So essentially, they're really harmless, but they keep doing some things, some last things, like this thrashing around thing, okay? Until they're completely gone. Okay, so these people, these beings, I don't want to call them people, these beings, okay, they're also part of us. Everything is one. All of us are one. Good, bad, light, dark, it's all one. There's only one thing. There's source. There's only one source of energy from which all form and all beings and all souls come from. Okay? It's all this infinite flow of energy that has a consciousness, which is an awareness that can take form and manifest itself in physicality and play different roles and have different experiences. Okay, that's consciousness. However, our true state, our true consciousness is the light. Okay, it is pure love. And that's why people say only love exists. It sounds cliche, but it's true. Because at the highest level, our original energy is love. It's just love. Pure, unconditional, eternal, flowing energy that is love. So, what happened was at some time, we decided to have an experiment to become individuals, okay? Because if you're just all one thing all the time, you know, I don't think that we experience boredom, but the point I'm trying to make is we are powerful enough, okay, creative enough, that we can now take our awareness, and reduce it or confine it into individual bodies, into individual vessels. And now we can experience ourselves as an individual. Does that make sense? It's like the ocean, okay? The ocean is all one thing. It's all the same thing. It has the same components. But if you take a cup and take a cup of water out of the ocean, now it's an individual part of the ocean. It's in a cup, it's in a container. But it doesn't cease to be the ocean, right? If you check it under a microscope, it is still the ocean. It is just now in a container. It's now individualized, okay? That is what we are. See, our bodies are containers, like a cup of source or God. And we are just in an individual container having an experience, but we're still source. We're all still one. We're unified. There is no separation, okay? There isn't this one God that looks like a person who's sitting on a throne somewhere in a place called heaven. That doesn't exist, because God is the sum total of everything. There is nothing that God is not, that source is not. Everything is source. Every single thing you see or experience is source. There is nothing that cannot be source, because source is all that is. It is everything. That is a huge thought. It may take some time to wrap your brain around that. And still, you can hear it and understand it, but still not have a personal experience of what I'm talking about. And that right there is the difference. I don't want to go on a tangent, but that right there is the difference between so many light workers and then true light warriors. Because a light warrior not only has the knowledge, but has the personal knowing and experience of these things. There are a lot of people sharing knowledge that don't have personal experience, that don't understand it on a tangible level of knowing. Okay? So be careful of those people, because if those people still don't directly experience the oneness, then they can have, their ego can still be in control. So they can be telling you all these things about love and light, but until they fully comprehend what the oneness is and what it feels like, to a certain extent, there are things you can't trust them about. Okay? So some of these beings were playing, we were allowed to have this experiment in physicality because we wanted to forget that we were one and be in individual bodies and experience individuality, and then see if we could evolve or learn enough lessons to where we would want to come back and remember the light and remember that we are one. Okay? It's a game. And you may say, well, it's a weird game. Why would we play that? Well, why wouldn't we play it? We have eternity. You know, what else are we going to do? It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's fun, because, you know, it doesn't seem fun when you're in this body and you're suffering sometimes. But at the higher level, your higher self knows that it's all just a game. It's all just an experience. It doesn't matter, because in the end, you're the oneness. You're perfect. All is perfect. All is well. All is love, right? So some of these beings that were in control of this planet, they got very far from the light. Okay, so their evolution point is they're completely in denial of the light of source. They think their ego is completely in control. They think they are individuals. They think they can control a planet, control a human population. They have no clue of who they really are. They are completely in the dark. It's like a psychosis, okay? But they're allowed to have that experience because they're loved unconditionally just like everyone else. So it's their free will to have this experience. Unfortunately, them having their experience has led to them tricking or controlling a huge amount of humans for eons of time, because they decided to put things in place like religions, and they decided to fool everyone about their true origin and make them think that, you know, you only get one life and that's it, YOLO, you know, and that there's a deity that you have to worship that's outside of yourself. And there's all these tricks that they plant into our minds. Well, as a result, if you start to adopt their beliefs, okay, into your subconscious and into your consciousness, then we're powerful creators. So the beliefs you adopt become reality. So if you believe in this one life, that there's only like one life and that's it or whatever, then you die, okay, or you drop the body. There is no death, but you drop the body. Well, you don't get to ascend with all your consciousness of knowing your soul is eternal. You have to then come back here to a third dimensional level and try to wake up again, okay? So we have humans on this planet who have literally been reincarnating in the third dimension for millions of years. It is mind-blowing, but that's what's happened. And they're exhausted and they're tired and they are confused, okay? And they are adopting the same beliefs each lifetime. Consequently, they just keep working for these people, okay? Paying taxes, basically serving the machine, and then manifesting some kind of disease or getting in some accident and then dying. But then they're just gonna come right back and do it again. So it's genius if you think about from the other side. I'm at the point where I can now find it humorous, but so anyhow, that's them. That's what they've been doing. They've been controlling humans, keeping them from realizing their divinity. Because once you realize your divinity, you're no longer trapped. You can now, your consciousness raises just by having those realizations. your frequency or your consciousness starts to raise, and your powers start to come back to you, and you remember that you're a creator and that you can create your own reality and that you're not stuck in the lower dimensions. Okay? And this is coming from somebody. I've come to realize that I have ascended many times before. So I don't have to be here right now. And I tell people that sometimes, and I know how it sounds like when you're saying it, right? Like some people think that it sounds so like I'm special, or like I'm better than, or something like that. I've had that reaction. But the truth is just the truth. Some of us are here that have already graduated the third dimension a long time ago. And now we're back. We volunteered to come back. We didn't have to for our soul's growth. We chose to come back down through the dimensions so that we could hold the light consciously and help others to achieve their first ascension. Okay? It's a labor of love. It's just pure love, because there's no other reason why you would ever come back down after you had achieved a certain state of consciousness. I don't think, personally. So it's a matter of love and wanting to accomplish that, I think. So I don't really feel like I've ever been on Earth before. I've had this feeling a long time. I think this is my first Earth incarnation. I think that, as far as a planet of origin, I'm Pleiadian, definitely. But we're not even Pleiadian. We can't call ourselves that. That is one thing that we have been. But truthfully, what we are is pure consciousness. That's what we are. At the highest level, we're just pure divine love and light. So we might have played different roles. I don't think I've ever played an Earth role before this life. So this place has been extremely harsh for me. But now there's good news, because we're at the tail end of this thing. That's how it feels to me. I feel like this solar eclipse that's coming Monday is just amazing. I feel like it's going to further activate the people who are already awake. It's going to activate everyone in some way or another. It just depends on how far along you are in your evolution. So for the star seeds and the light warriors like myself, I think that we only have one more activation before our divine powers are completely reinstated and we start leading humanity on a grander scale. And by grander, I don't necessarily mean on a public platform. I just mean that people are going to be more open to what we're saying. Okay, because this has been told to me, and this is something I feel, that as people become more awake, and it's already happening, people that already never really paid much attention to me are starting to get what I'm saying. It's starting to make sense, and they're starting to ask me questions, and suddenly it doesn't seem so esoteric or out there. Okay, because this is just reality. And even if it doesn't resonate with you now, that's fine. At some point it will. If you're going to be on this earth, you have no choice, but your consciousness is going to keep raising because of these energies that are being dispensed upon us. There's no way that you can't wake up. If you're going to choose to stay asleep and not ascend, then you're going to have to drop your body, which looks like death, but you're going to have to drop your body, and you're going to have to incarnate on another planet that will host your third dimensional experience if that's what you choose. And there's no judgment there. It's just the way that it is. But if you're going to be on Earth and you're going to experience the new Earth in the fifth dimension, then your DNA is going to be activated by these energies, and you're going to remember this, and you're going to wake up and realize that there's a lot more going on than you ever thought, and that the things that you probably thought were priority and important in the life that you're building here just are well, they're important, but they're just, they're on the side. They're not the main reason that you're here. The main reason that you're here is for your soul to ascend, for your soul's growth. So this is getting long. I'm going to turn it off now. But I'll be making another one probably before I say that, but I don't know for sure. I never know for sure. I'm going to feel. So just know that what's coming is amazing. Don't get into fear. Take care of your body. Get plenty of rest. Don't run yourself ragged right now. This is not the week to do that. Turn down things if you can. Don't feel obligated to do things for people. Say no. Say no. Make something up. Spend more time in nature or by yourself, taking salt baths, drinking pure water, eating fruits and vegetables, spending time with your children and your pets, things that are high vibrational, things that allow your heart to stay open. Because when we're in nature, we're with our pets and we're with our children, we don't have to, we don't have to have our guard up, right? So spend time with people and things that make you feel like you can be open, like your heart chakra can just be open and relaxed and, silly or goofy or loving or funny, those kind of things, okay? So choose those things, especially this week, but hopefully all the time. I'll talk to you guys soon. Aloha.